Hi, this is Phil, and I'm here to make sure you know all about the Capes and Lunatics Patreon. Don't miss out on all new episodes of Wade's World, Boob Windows and Long Boxes, our Hard R movie reviews, and so much more, all completely uncensored. Access starts for as little as $1 a month, full videos when you pledge $3 a month. Check us out at the link in all of our show notes, or just go straight to patreon.com/capesandlunatics. Hope to see you there.
This is Luca Parrish, and you're listening to the Capes and Lunatics Podcast.
Diggity dank.
Hello and welcome back to another week of the Nightwing news. I am Phil. Joining me as always.
Hi, I'm Kristen.
And
Nightwing Cat.
That is like that family, like just with the camera and everything, all I can see is like his eyes.
It's the void. You look into the abyss, and the abyss looks back.
Like Batman, you know, he's standing in the shadows, all I see like his eyes.
That's right. Are you the night? Are you the night?
Who's the knight? Who's the good knight? All right, so. Oh, is that you, Russell? Hi, Phil. Hi, Kristen. Hi, Kat. Yes, the cat.
Hi, Russell.
The cat's name is Nightwing. So, if you didn't know how obsessed,
she's on theme.
If you didn't know how obsessed Kristen was before, yes, you know now.
I specifically got a black cat because I was like, I'm gonna get a cat and name it Nightwing.
Ah.
My Nightwing's a girl though. But I was like, Nightwing's a gender neutral name.
There you go. Yeah, it's not like a Batman.
Right, exactly.
Oh, yes, that's, yes, we'll get into this, because Russell even brings up, Richard Dragon was in Denny O'Neil's Question series. Because, yes, kids,
oh, right. At first I was like, Denny O'Neil asked a question?
No. Well,
But you mean question as in a character.
Yes. But no, because tonight, kids, we're covering Richard Dragon number 2 and 3 from...
Hey, you haven't been floppy too. Awesome.
Yes, the only 2 issues of Richard Dragon I own. I wonder why.
Yeah, well, same here.
I think I was at a con or something, and I saw them in like a, like a dollar box, and I was like, oh, I'm like Nightwing. Of course I got to pick them up. Yes, from August and September of 2004. But yeah, since we don't have much to talk about tonight, because not only does the new issue of Nightwing come out next week, we'll have the first 3 episodes of Titans Titan season 3 to talk next week, because yes, that drops Thursday through the first 3 episodes, and we're talking some Booster Gold issues with Dick Grayson as Nightwing, Batman, and Robin. So because it's time travel.
I'm both nervous and excited for Titans. But I feel like that's always how I feel about Titans, the show, is both nervous and excited.
I know. So, I mean, I knew a little bit of Richard Dragon, but not a lot. So I figured, since we didn't have a big list of stuff to talk about, I'd do some research on Richard Dragon. Okay, so I was telling you about the origin before we jumped on here. Richard Dragon is a fictional comic book character created by Dennis O'Neil and James R. Barry in the novel Kung Fu Master Richard Dragon, Dragon's Fists from 1974.
Wow! But Denny O'Neil wrote. Wow,
yes.
Denny O'Neil's kind of old.
Denny O'Neil, James R. Barry. Hey, don't speak ill of the dead.
Denny O'Neil's not dead. Oh, Denny O'Neil. Oh.
Yeah.
Sorry. Oh, that's why I was. Oh, you know what? That's why I was confused. Idiot. When you said Denny O'Neil, I was thinking Chuck Dixon.
Oh, yeah, no.
And I was like, he invented him in the 90s? Oh, yes. Okay, now that makes perfect sense.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was like, whoa, Chuck Dixon, if he was writing novels in the 70s, he's older than I thought. Okay, but I was confused. Yes, Denny O'Neil and Chuck Dixon are in fact 2 completely different people. Brain fart there. Okay, yes.
Yes, but O'Neil later adapted the character for DC Comics in the comic book Richard Dragon, Kung Fu Fighter.
Okay, and that was in the 70s.
I believe here. Let me check the note here. I it's not giving me a date here, but I believe so. Wait, first appearance. Oh no, it's just listing the novel as like the first appearance. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was the 70s.
I can Google. Are you on Wikipedia or DC Wikipedia?
I'm just on regular Wikipedia. Because like there's a whole thing with like Richard Dragon, and then like they kind of rebooted him for like this 2004 series.
Yeah.
Because there's a whole bunch about his origin. Yeah, because in the original origin, I guess him and that Ben Turner Bronze Tiger like trained together, but then in this, when they rebooted it in 2004, Bronze Tiger became his teacher.
Okay. Uh-huh.
But now, as I was reading through this before, like Russell pointed out, I mean, Denny O'Neil did have him in his question series, so he did show up there. And it also said Richard Dragon was the one who taught Barbara like Eskrima fighting, like when she got after she was in the wheelchair.
Okay.
That was one of the styles like she could do from the chair. So.
Yes, this included Barbara Gordon, Vic Sage, and it says Helena Bertinelli.
Yes, yeah, I believe yes. There was I think it was also in the early 2000s. There was a Huntress miniseries. You know, Batman and Nightwing showed up in that, so we can cover that at some point. But
That he fell under the sway of Lady Shiva.
yeah, because like I thought it was just they rebooted him in the New 52, but no, before that, like, again for this 2004 series, they rebooted him.
Here, the DC Wiki says, yeah, he was created as the protagonist of their 74 novel, but O'Neil later adapted him as a DC character in 1975 when he was writing the series Richard Dragon Kung Fu Fighter.
But no, yeah, in 2004, when this started, the one we're talking about started, the title was revived and the character revamped by Chuck Dixon and Scott McDaniel.
Okay.
So only to be canceled after 12 issues.
Wow. He didn't make it very long.
No. In this one, he's a bullied school kid who enrolls in a karate dojo to better himself. Unfortunately, the dojo's instructor was a mail order black belt who was later defeated by the Bronze Tiger. The Bronze Tiger then agrees to train young Dragon. And yes, he eventually meets and falls in love with Lady Shiva. Even though he wins the martial arts tournament she's watching, she chides him for not being able to live up to the powerful name of Dragon. Shiva becomes the Dragon's lover and instructor, and the series touches on their now strained relationship.
Wait, and which series was this in?
This is the 2004 one.
Okay, the one we're reading. Okay, is he only had these two series, the Richard Dragon Kung Fu Fighter?
Well,
and then
during New 52, he didn't have his own series, but they kind of like did a version of him, but he was like a bad guy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was like in the Green Arrow series, for New 52. I
guess he's supposed to be of Russian heritage since his real last name is like Dragonovsky or whatever.
I think so.
And Dragon is just like the simplified name.
But yeah, the series we're covering begins with the tiger locating Dragon, who is seeking death by fighting in death matches. He agrees to help Dragon resolve his problems with Shiva if he agrees to stop killing. In tracking Shiva, they are confronted by Nightwing, which we'll get to tonight. And I guess later on, they get confronted by Connor Hawk, the Green Arrow #2. Nightwing alludes to Dragon training him as Dragon trained Bruce Wayne, who passed that training on to Nightwing. They kind of, I mean, again, it's comic books, but I'm like, Dragon didn't seem that old that he could have trained Bruce Wayne. I don't know.
Right, yeah, he's hard to.
Although, unless you say like, oh, he wasn't that much older than Bruce, they were close to in the same age or something.
Yeah, well, I mean, time moves magically in.
But no, this is weird because it says the end of this series, Dragon and Shiva are pitted in combat. Dragon gains the upper hand, begins to deliver the death blow. Shiva's devout followers rush to save her, knocking Dragon away, but she's unhappy with that and possibly kills her followers before returning to kill Dragon with her signature move, the Leopard Claw. Dragon is, however, resuscitated by the demonic Neuron who wants Dragon to kill Shiva. Dragon refuses and walks away from Neuron, saying that they both had held up their parts of the agreement.
Wow.
Yeah, and then of course, in a few years after that, he trained Renee Montoya when she became the second question.
Wait, but it says when he was in the Green Arrow, he had a different name.
Well, yeah, that's what I said. In the New 52, they kind of did like he basically was just Richard Dragon in name alone because, yeah, it was Ricardo Diaz, and he was like a villain. And Ricardo Diaz also showed up as a villain in Arrow season 6 and 7. So, yeah, so it's pretty much just the name. It's it's a completely different guy.
Wow.
So yeah, lots of kung fu stuff here. I'm surprised DC isn't like trying to reprint a bunch of this stuff because like the beginning of September, the Shang-Chi movie comes out for Marvel, so that's all like martial arts and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he had a book around that time. Yeah, Shang-Chi, Master of Kung Fu. So surprised they're not trying.
They need to reboot. So they need to reboot Richard Dragon as an Asian man, though, if they're gonna like give him a movie or something, because people are tired of seeing random white dudes being good. And the other thing is, since Richard Dragon is, I mean, the Richards may be real, but the dragon is not really his. I mean, like, it could be a made up name that he's like, hey, I'm from China or Japan, depending on what. Yeah, Korea, whatever style he wants to fight, and he'd just be like, Richard Dragon is the name I use in America for all you English speakers who have trouble pronouncing my real name or something. Or just because it sounds cool.
Or change the Richard. I mean, that just screams white to me. So yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, it super does.
Again, unless he's a spy and that's his alien or something. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, how on earth obviously that was like the only, Nightwing on there, and I was like, Richard Dragon, there's another dude named Richard in DC. Who is this guy? I have to read up. But yeah, it's really random. Like, why on earth, when you created him in the 70s, was it Richard Dragon? Of even like all the names you could pick in the 70s, why that?
I don't know, unless Denny O'Neil or the other guy knew a Richard or something and just named him after him or something.
But yeah, it's not like Richard was a hot, cool name in the 70s.
Yeah, I know.
It's like, it really could have been anything else.
But I mean, what maybe later on we'll have to do. There was like a crossover. It was like a martial arts thing with like this martial arts cult. It crossed over. It was in there was an issue 2 of Nightwing. There was an issue of like Detective, and there was an issue of like Green Arrow. What was this, like mid or late 90s? But yeah, we should do that because I mean, there's like a bunch of like the martial artists in there and stuff.
Oh yeah, I saw it said something about Connor Hawke.
Yes.
Yeah, and I saw some random list when I typed Richard Dragon in. It was like common question. You know how Google gives you like questions people ask, and one of them was like, he appeared on some list of the best DC martial artists, and that list, I don't know how authoritative it was, had him as number 2 ahead of Lady Shiva at number 3. I was like, I don't know, but they had someone named Karate Kid as number 1. Is that someone in DC, or is that just a ripoff from the movie?
I think that's someone from the Legion of Superheroes. So,
okay. Like I said, I don't know how authoritative this list was. I literally just read it 2 minutes ago.
Yeah.
On Google, but he's supposed to be good.
That list always fluctuates, I think.
Well, right. I mean, doesn't it depend on what book you're in?
Exactly. Yeah.
In Richard Dragon's book, he's pretty much going to be the best. But if this was Lady Shiva's book, then she would be the best.
Yeah. All right, let's get to these, even though there's not like a ton of Nightwing in them, but.
No, yeah. Given that he gets some like pretty good placement on the cover, He's not in it as much as you might think.
Oh yeah, especially the first one, yeah. But
Right.
it is by Chuck Dixon and Scott McDaniel, who have worked on Nightwing before, and this takes place in Bloodhaven.
Right.
So yeah, we got here. You know what we can do? Let me see. Would you want sometimes for the other shows, like I'll like read a synopsis of the issue and then we'll discuss it. Would you like me to do that if I can find one?
I mean, you can, although I feel like we don't. I mean, Richard Dragon is hunting bad martial artists who are working their way through the U.S.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's a really short synopsis. But that's kind of. I mean, I think that must be how his series got started. I mean, because this is our issue 2. And I think he's like followed these people to.
Well, yeah, this some of these synopses aren't long like this one. Like issue 2, it's like Bronze Tiger and Richard Dragon go to a Chinese restaurant and confront half of the Circle of Six. Kitty, Kambata, Wham Wham, and Hua Rang. While they're fighting the first half of the group, the other 3 of the 6 arrive and enter the fray. Then Nightwing shows up and the party really begins.
Well, there you go.
I know.
That's basically what I said.
And I love Dick. You know, Dick comes like flying through the roof. He's like, "Are you still seating for dinner?"
That's right. Always gotta have good quips. Well, at first we see Nightwing at the beginning. He's watching. Well, he comes up later, like after the fight. He's kind of following the cops, and he's on the roof, and he has his. I don't know what you call those things, but it's something that like picks up the sound.
Yeah, it's like a directional mic. Yeah, he listened to the cops, and he's like, "Oh, just what I need, more out of town talent in the Haven."
Right. But yeah, then a lot of these, considering that this is the second and third book, I mean, I felt like I pretty much know Richard Dragon's backstory without even reading the first book, because you pretty much get his entire backstory in these 2 issues.
Well, they used to kind of do that more because, like, even like Stan Lee used to say, you know, every comic book is someone's first. So it's like, you know, you don't want to like. But now they write for trade, so it's like, you know, 6 issues will be one story, and then the next 6 will be another story. But yeah, back in the day, they're always like, you know, this might be someone's first, so you know, we can't make this like too convoluted, or you know, we got to explain along the way every time.
Yeah. Yeah, I was just saying I might have thought some of this explanation would have been in the first one, so it was good that it was in. So yeah, even in 04, he still has his background of kid in St. Louis who.
I just wonder when this story is supposed to take place, because I was curious. I looked this up because August 2004, I'm like, what issue of Nightwing were we on? August 2004 was Nightwing 94, the issue after the infamous rape by Tarantula.
Wow, gosh, I know 4 we were that far into Nightwing. Wow.
Oh yeah, because it started in 96.
96.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I mean, we were 8 years into Nightwing at this point.
Wow.
So yeah, so I'm like, where does this story take place? Because issue 94, you know, then they like.
Yeah, it does. Like, yeah, because I was thinking that. Oh, so Chuck Dixon wasn't even writing that. I see.
It was during Devin's run. Yeah.
Yeah, so he wasn't even writing. Yeah, because this feels like it takes place at the beginning of Nightwing's run.
Yeah. No. Yeah. This is.
I guess since Chuck's writing it.
Like
so yeah. Well, whatever.
This is the month after the the tarantula rape, so it's like, where does this take place?
Well,
maybe a few months.
You know, it's just another sign of how.
Maybe a few months prior, maybe. Yeah.
Well, what were you saying, Phil? Sorry.
I said maybe it's just like a few months prior or whatever.
Oh, I was gonna say I think it's just a sign of how the different appearances don't always line up exactly. Because of course, what was Dick doing in his Nightwing comic when we were reading Obsidian Age? I mean, that was in 02, so it was. But I mean, it was clearly not connected. He was doing his thing in Bloodhaven, and he, you know.
Yeah, but you could always say that takes place between an issue or 2. But yeah, this I'm like, he just left town. What's he doing? But again, comics, and sometimes these people don't talk to each other.
Right. Well, because sometimes it's better if you don't. Because it would have been like too much for somebody reading Richard Dragon to be like, what's up with Nightwing? Why is this hero in Bloodhaven so broken and beat down? Like, if you're not reading Nightwing, like that would be too confusing for you to be like, what is going on?
And again, too, it's like like we said, he's not a ton in this. It's like in the beginning, we see him like checking, watching the cops check the crime scene. And then at the end of this one, he just like, like literally like falls in the middle of the fight.
Yeah.
It's right through that skylight.
Yep.
But yeah, I always love Scott McDaniel's work on like the street level guys like Nightwing. He did some Daredevil for a while. Yeah, I always like his stuff. He even did some Batman too after Nightwing. Yeah.
Scott McDaniel did.
Yeah.
Well, although they're not too far away, because if this is Nightwing 94. That was happening at the same time. I mean, Chuck and Scott McDaniel come back onto Nightwing in just a few issues because because 100 through 106 was year one.
For year one, yeah. Was it McDaniel? Yeah, I think. Yeah. Yeah, but that wasn't even set in the present.
Oh right, yeah, that one was obviously back. Yeah, so whatever.
Well, it was weird because, again, Nightwing 94, 95, they're on the road. And then what was it, like either 96 or 97? They started War Games, that big crossover with Batman. So he had to run the Gotham thing.
Right, yeah. Yeah, I'm kind of wondering if that was part of the reason that they did 100 through 106 as like the kind of year one flashback, almost because War Games was going on for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was like the contemporary stuff was in the Batman books.
True.
Anyway, yes, but as you said, it's worth it. If you got it in the dollar bin, it's worth buying it just for this page alone because it's a great Nightwing spread. And he has, as you said already, Phil, a quality quip. Are you still seating for dinner?
And again, I mean, it's not a bad story, but if you're expecting a ton of Nightwing, especially in this first one, yeah, you're not getting a ton of Nightwing.
Right. Obviously, it was worth $1 for me because, as I commented on our Facebook post, it's 2 Richards in one book. Booyah!
Oh yeah, especially if you find it for $1 because these were originally $2.50.
$2.50. That's honestly a bargain now. What is it up to now? $3.99.
Mm-hmm. Well, some of them, like some of the Batman books, like they put in extra pages and they'll charge you $4.99.
Highway robbery.
At least with Marvel, I don't know why DC doesn't do this. I mean, they were doing it with some for a while, but Marvel, every book Marvel, gives you, like it's $3.99, but they'll give you a digital code for every book.
Oh yeah, DC was doing that well, maybe they don't do it because they have the DC Unlimited or DC Infinite, whatever.
Yeah, but I mean, but Marvel has the same thing. Marvel Unlimited. I mean, but yeah, so I mean, they're basically charging this. Oh, some of the DC books might be a little more, but I'm like, they're basically charging the same. But yeah, Marvel get you buy a Marvel book, you're getting the paper and the digital copy of it. Warner's, you're falling down.
I guess because Disney has all that mouse money, they can just toss it around.
I guess. All right. So,
or maybe, I mean, like you said, DC was doing that. Maybe they were doing that and they realized it didn't make any difference, so they stopped. I don't know.
Maybe. So yeah, issue 3. Let me see. Well, I'm trying to find a link for the next one. Yeah, sometimes a quick synopsis just like helps. All right. Like I said, these are the only 2 issues of Richard Dragon I've read. I wonder why. September, Richard Dragon 3, September 2004. Again, Chuck Dixon, Scott McDaniel. Oh boy, this is a long synopsis. Bronze Tiger, Richard Dragon, and Nightwing fight off the Circle of 6. Later, the Circle of 6 decide to move to another city to avoid fights with superheroes. Boom.
That's it. That's the whole thing.
I mean,
Well, I do enjoy talking about where they decide to move.
oh yeah.
So that's fun. So yeah, well, we get
But again, a lot of this was like a big fight scene,
right. Yeah, we get a lot of funny, but this is cool page at the beginning.
Oh yeah, that double page spread, yeah.
Nightwing kicking butt.
But yeah, I love you get like this, Richard Dragon's thoughts this time. Usually when we're reading Chuck Dixon, we're used to getting like Dick's thoughts. Here we get Richard Dragon's because he's like, some guy in a mask joined us, a local. Seems like he can handle himself.
Ben vouches for him.
And he's like, it makes the odds a little better. But yeah, a lot of this is just the fight in the restaurant. Oh, then the big guy gets a shot at Nightwing. He's like, oh, he didn't, the Nightwing kid's in trouble. Big guy's way faster than he lets on. The kid in the mask is fast too.
This is no super abilities that I can see, just a natural, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And then, who taught you to fight? And he says, in a way, you did. Like, what?
I mean, shouldn't he at least be like, oh wait, so did he learn from someone I taught?
I mean, I assume he would figure that out, but in the middle of a fight.
True, because then someone starts shooting at them too.
Exactly. When you're fighting for your life, yeah, don't waste the brain power. I think it's kind of cool then that page where they're getting shot at, you could kind of see, I don't know, Dick is like more gymnastics. Like he's up in there, but he's in splits, and Richard Dragon is in, I don't know, more some kind of martial arts kick pose, I guess.
Yeah, it's more like Dick doesn't even think about it. So we trade kung fu for gun fu.
And you know what? And that's a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Gun fu. So I was watching that game show, The Chase, at a friend's house last night, and that was one of the trivia questions. It was, what's the name of the martial arts style that you see in a lot of Keanu Reeves movies, like The Matrix and John Wick? And gun fu was the answer. And The Matrix had already come out, so I guess gun fu was already a thing by 2004. So,
oh yeah,
discerning movie goers would be like, "Oh yes."
Richard Dragon saw a Shaolin monk catch a bullet in his hand once, and Dick, how about 1,000 bullets? I know a guy in Metropolis who can pull that one off.
I wonder who that guy is.
I know they should have been like, "Oh, I got a buddy in red who can do that."
No, Big Blue, the Boy Scout,
or Wally. I love, Ben. Ben's like, working close, just like I taught you. Is Ben talking to me or the kid? But yeah, after they take down the gunman, yeah, Dick's like, the cop is showing up. He's like, here's where I pull my vanishing act. I suggest you guys do the same. So he throws out a line and takes off, and then Richard Dragon's like, he said I taught him to fight. Now you taught the guy who taught him, and who's that? Batman.
He's still like, huh? Because I mean, obviously that was before Batman was Batman, so he didn't just show up like, oh, Batman.
And I'm sure, Bruce used some kind of alias too.
Yeah, probably.
I think with most of his training, he used the alias.
Bruce Dragon.
Oh, there was a story from was it the late 80s? Me and Lilith covered. It's 3 parts. It's called The Many Deaths of the Batman, and someone started killing off all the guys who trained Batman. So he had to figure out.
Richard Dragon in it?
No, but he just had to figure out who was killing because someone had figured out, who Batman would have to go to get certain skills, just killing off all his teachers and stuff.
I'm wondering if in the 70s he did not teach Batman, if that's a newer thing.
I don't know, because again, it seems like, as I said, in the 70s, I think him and Bronze Tiger were more peers instead of Bronze Tiger teaching him at this point. So I think they kind of de-aged him when they rebooted this. They should have just said it was his kid or something. Although if he was around in the 70s and stuff, that was pre-Crisis. So Crisis could have changed stuff.
Yeah, there was something in there about Crisis. Although I think it sounds like they kept most of his. I mean, he had a reasonably simple origin. So
yeah, I think they just tweak some of the details sometimes, just because they've been around so long. Yeah. So
anyway, that's the last of Nightwing.
Yeah, because the cops clean up. Yeah, we see Richard and Ben ready to leave town, and the bad guys are talking about going where?
To Detroit! Yeah! But Kitty is ripping on Detroit. Boo! Rude. She says the Tigers suck, which I guess they did know for. I don't remember. She should have said the Lions suck because they always suck, so that wouldn't have dated the comic pretty much at all. They're almost always terrible. But then whoever the big guy is, he's like, well, get a Red Wings pass. I was like, yeah, that's right. Woo! Yeah, Red Wings. Hockey Town.
But like Nightwing gets no respect because it's like, the bad guys are like, oh, it's only Nightwing tonight. Next it'll be Batman or the Flash,
That's what happens when you're young. Hey, he was good enough that they're like, you know what? We're leaving. So
I mean, I guess it's because of his powers, but I'm like, the Flash was Wally at this point, so it's not like Flash was that much older anyway.
Yeah, but the Flash is a legacy at that point, so it's like Nightwing's.
Yeah, and at this point, Wally's like hitting light speed, so it's like, yeah, I don't want to mess with that guy.
Right, but yeah, I think the difference is probably because since it's the same name, it's the same outfit. People are like, oh, the Flash has been around a while, so.
Oh yeah.
So yeah.
All right. So anything else?
Or maybe Batman and the Flash are the only other superheroes they've heard of.
Oh come on, no one's heard of Superman. Although we kind of already sort of mentioned him, I guess.
They say who knows who's next, so maybe they're just not very imaginative.
Maybe. All right. Any other thoughts on these? Again, it's a really good story. But again, there's not a ton of night. I think they were just using Nightwing to try to pump up the sales on this book because again, it only lasted 12 issues.
Right. Yeah.
So see.
Well, and since he's kind of going through different towns, but yeah.
See, look, Nightwing's popular. They could have used Batman to try to pump up sales. Did they? No, they used Nightwing.
They, of course, mentioned Batman, of course.
Well, yeah, just because that's the through line. It's like, oh, hey, you taught Batman and Batman taught me. So
you're like my martial arts grandfather.
That's so funny, though, because, like, so did Bruce put his own flair on it? Because like Richard Dragon didn't seem to recognize his style from, usually all those martial arts guys can like identify different styles and stuff, but he didn't recognize his own style in Nightwing's moves.
Maybe it's because Dick put his own acrobatic flair on it.
Well, that's true because I'm sure Bruce probably put it because they always say like Batman learned multiple styles and like combined all the styles in like one weird combination of his own. And then again, Dick's always, more acrobatic and.
Yes, because that quick list of best DC martial artists in the like top 7 that were popped up there, Batman was on there like 5 maybe. Cass was 4, I want to say, but like Nightwing was not in the top 7 or whatever that I saw.
Let me see.
Not that he's a bad fighter, but I guess he's not really known specifically as a martial artist.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. He's almost in. I was gonna say, is he almost like a Captain America who's not considered like a martial artist? But I was gonna say I always say his physical movements remind me of Daredevil, but Daredevil was trained by a blind ninja master, so it's like.
Well, I mean, I imagine Batman's on that list because he's Batman, and so he always has to be on lists of being the best at everything.
I'm looking at your list. Oh, they put Dick Grayson at 15.
Oh, well, so okay. See, then there he was on that. Who's 14? What's the list? Give me the rundown, Phil. I only saw part of it.
Going backwards, number 16 is Prometheus, which is kind of dumb because he has like a kind of helmet that kind of just like, it's almost like the Matrix. He like can like upload fighting moves into his, But 15 is Dick Grayson. 14, Vic Sage, The Question. I never would have bet that. I would have bet take The Question. I don't know. 13, Connor Hawk. Maybe.
Shouldn't he be higher? I thought he was supposed to be really good.
He is. I mean, he was like basically raised by monks who like taught him, like martial arts. So I don't know.
This explains why when I was teaching my medieval history class and I was starting to talk about monks, I was like, okay, when you think of monks, what do you think of? And then my students were like, Kung Fu. And I was like, what?
I know.
Because, of course, I'm thinking of medieval Christian monks. I was like, no, there's no Kung Fu in the monastery.
Yeah, I don't know who put this list together. This is totally a mess. Number 12, Constantine Dracon, who fought Green Arrow and Connor. And I don't know. I mean, he's a good fighter, but I can put him above like Dick or Connor Hawk. Number 11, Ozymandias from Watchmen. It's like, depending on the day, that's not even in continuity. Number 10, Deathstroke.
I mean, he's supposed to be good, right? I don't know. I didn't know if he was a martial artist or just a killer, but
Well, when he took that serum or whatever, I mean, he's basically been enhanced to be a little, better than human. So, number 9, David Kane, father of Cassandra Kane.
Yeah, I'm maybe a little surprised he's not higher, but
yeah. Number 8, Ra's al Ghul.
Oh yeah, that was where the list started. I mean, I guess I don't know. I mostly ever associated him with swords. But I mean, if you're 600 years old, you probably know a lot of moves.
Yeah, I mean, look how much Batman picked up in a regular human lifespan. I mean, Ra's al Ghul's hundreds of years old. I mean, there are some martial arts that use weapons. So, I mean,
right? Yeah, no, I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying let's be real. I don't really know anything about martial arts.
Yeah. Number 7, Black Canary. I mean, she is good, but I don't know if I'd put her above Connor or Dick. I don't know. But she is good. Oh Lord, she's been taught in conventional martial arts by both Richard Dragon and Lady Shiva.
Oh, Richard Dragon's really bragging up the students here.
I know. Oh yeah, she trained with Ted Grant, Wildcat from the Justice Society too. Yeah, I mean, I could say maybe Black Canary's high on the list because she's had a bunch of teachers. So, number 6, Bronze Tiger. Who I know back in the day was on the Suicide Squad for a while. Oh,
and that's Ben.
Yeah,
they were sometimes just calling him Tiger in here, but he's Bronze Tiger.
Yeah. Ben Turner, Bronze Tiger, yeah. Number 5, Batman.
And then 4 is Cass.
Yep, Cassandra Cain. Yep. Number 3.
Yes, 3 they said was Shiva, 2 was Richard Dragon, and 1 was that Karate Kid.
Yes. Yeah. So basically, Legion of Superheroes who are in the 31st century. So.
Well, I mean, I don't know, but hey, I mean, Dick made the list. That's pretty good. There's a lot of people who aren't on the list.
So if we take out Karate Kid, he's in the future. If we go present day, they're saying Richard Dragon can take everybody. I don't know about that. I mean, he seemed pretty good, but just from these 2 issues reread, I was like, I don't know. I think on a good day, Dick could have taken him.
I don't know.
Again, like you said, it's whoever's writing it too, and whose book it is, and
I mean, plus, like, I don't know I don't really know a lot about martial arts. It's my understanding that when you learn a martial art and practice it, that there are rules because you like learn a certain style. So when you're like at the dojo kind of thing, you're following the rules. And so I don't know if that necessarily applies when we're talking about superheroes, because of course they're not fighting people who are following the rules, and they're not necessarily following the rules themselves.
I mean, there's different. I mean, I took Taekwondo. I got a black belt in Taekwondo. I mean, there's different. I don't know. There's subtle differences. A lot of them are similar, but I mean, there's subtle differences. Just what is it? Is it jujitsu where it's like you use an opponent's like momentum and stuff against them and stuff, and you're basically doing more flips and holds and stuff. But yeah, a lot of them are just punching and kicking, but they'll teach you like different ways to do it. And again, like I said, I don't know why Batman isn't higher on the list, because like he learned as many different styles as he could and like mixed and mashed them together.
Yeah, but he has a lot of other stuff he has to do. He has to be he can't be the best at everything. Sometimes he has to only be number 5, okay?
Okay, I mean, I'll give it to Richard Dragon because he probably just studied martial arts. Batman also had to go out and study under detectives and toxicologists and everything else he uses. Okay, I buy it. All right, so we done?
Yep.
Yeah, like I said, good issues. Not a ton of Nightwing, but we got to talk some martial arts, man. All right, let me pull up the list. Although I'm pretty sure I know what's coming next week.
Yeah, you already said Booster Gold.
Yeah, Booster Gold issues. But here, I'll bring up the specific issues. But also, yes, the new issue of Nightwing will be out, Nightwing 83. And then we'll have the first 3 episodes of Titans for season 3. So we'll talk those. And then Booster Gold 11 and 12 and 21 through 25 from the 2008 series. And then in 2 weeks, Secret Origins number 13 and Teen Titans Spotlight number 14.
Nice. So some more origin stories.
That's right. And then in 3 weeks, I kind of made a change because it was one of my picks, but I changed it because I had like the Titans Bloodline annual, which and again, because we were going to do a big crossover, but now we're not. But so in 3 weeks, I put Nightwing the Target.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, where Dick Grayson gets framed, and yeah.
Got it. Yes. I know which one.
So
I'll change it on my sheet.
Yeah, like I said, 3 weeks, and it's only like 1 book, so it's not too.
Sounds
and again,
good.
it's a lot better than the Titans annual I had on there. Anyway.
Sounds fair.
All right, kids. So send your thoughts on all that. Email us, capesandlunatics@gmail.com, or call the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And remember to follow Nightwing News on Facebook, on Twitter. Please go join the Bloodhaven Bulletin or Facebook fan group. Find links to this YouTube channel. Find links to our Patreon. Find links to merch. Find basically links to everything, all the social medias for all the shows, everything at Linktree, linktr.ee/capesandlunatics. And please remember, support all things Southgate Media Group. Go to southgatemediagroup.com. Please also go subscribe to after you subscribe to our YouTube channel, go subscribe to the Southgate Media Group YouTube channel and go subscribe to the Southgate Media Group Patreon. There's a bunch of free and paid content there. There's a lot going on there. And of course, you can always support them by picking up Pod Life, the book, now in digital and paperback. And while you're buying some books, go pick up Dick Grayson, Boy Wonder. You need, you can get a lot of Nightwing in these Richard Dragon issues. Go pick up Dick Grayson, Boy Wonder. It's all about Dick Grayson. And when you go and pick up all those books or anything on Amazon, use the link for Southgate Media Group right down there in the show notes. Help us support this show, the network, and that man who was been kung fu fighting for decades, Rob Master Doom Southgate.
Make it rain, so says Master Doom. Please kick me in the pants. Mark my words.
All right. And again, make Kristen happy and go buy Dick Grayson, Boy Wonder. You think kitty litter grows on trees? I should make you do your own podcast. You hold up the cat. You're like, you could support the cat. Oh, come on.
I can send you pictures of Nightwing Cat to post on your the Patreon.
All right, kids, big episode next week. Again, Nightwing 83, the new issue. First 3 episodes of Titans Season 3 and the Booster Gold issues. So 11 and 12 and 21 and 25. All right, so go do all your homework. But until then you will join us. Same wing time.
Same wing channel.
The Nightwing News.